I know in the last video that we'd end this thing, it got so long, I went ahead and made part 2. Well, this is part 2, so you can see that we got her done. It turned out rather well, I think, don't you? But if you want to see how we done this, how we finish this thing up, put the stain on it, and stick with me. And I will show you how we're going to do it. Got the 8 spokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I've got the tenons cut. So I went ahead and got this hole. So I could take these and then make these fit. Now I'm gonna go to drill press. I'm gonna mark the centers of each. And then I'm gonna drill the holes and then we'll put this thing together. We're not permanently going to put it together. I just need to put it together to where I can get the outer ring. For this to look right, work right, I need to get these things right in the center of this area right here. A little tougher cutting into the end grain like this. Therefore, this is getting her done though. But this is end grain. Well, I've got the holes drilled, so we should be able to do a little test fitting. Now we got an outer wheel that connects these all the way around. So I guess that's what we're ready for next. But that's what it is. 8 spokes, 2, 4, 6, 8. That means if you're navigating a ship and you got this, you dead ahead, and you want to go 40 degrees, you move one notch. That's 45 degrees. Sorry. So each one of these is 45 degrees. 8 45s is 360. So what I got to figuring on is how's I going to do this? So what I did, I figured 8 segment bowls. So 8 segments divided by 360 degrees is 45 degrees. So what I did, there's 2 cuts per segment, so you divide in half. That's 22.5 degrees. So what I did, I cut these on 22.5 degrees, and I got them set out here. I'm going to use them on a double-sided tape and get them all lined up. So when I put this thing in there, it's going to hold it right where it's supposed to go. So when I pull it apart, then I'll have a guide for it to go by. So therefore, once the glue sets up, I'm going to check these things to make sure they're setting up at a 90 degrees and set them right. I'll have them. So when I'm said and done, all I'll have to do is cut 8 of these segments, and I'm going to be, and these are 1 inch and 15/16 tall. So I will need them to, when I get them glued in, so I'll put an outer ring around it and lock everything together with dowels. It's going to look pretty good, although it is pine. By the time I get it stained, I feel like it's going to look pretty good. So what I plan on doing, these things are set in a runner here. You're going to set right there, and you're just going to keep it guide up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue opposite of one another and see if we can get this thing going. The number comes up and lays flat on the deck, and it should be good to go right there. Well, I need to want that wood to swell up too much. So what I'm gonna do, him sliding together, it really needs to have some on the inside right here. Well, all right, here we go. All right, we'll get right on the other side. And I'll take a clamp, I'll just hold me a little pressure on it. Okay. Number up. Right down through there and do. Okay. Now I'll just hold a little pressure. I've seen the glue joints walk yourself out. It doesn't take a lot of pressure. I just want them to stay there, if you know what I mean. The way my clamps are set up, I can put another two together. So we'll take care of this one and this one. Let's get on the inside first. You want to? Yeah, there you go. Catch a southern. There we go. I'll take this one now. Oh, we'll let that set up for a little while, and then I'll have two more to do. Make sure they didn't bow up right there. Look like they're sitting down flat, so we're good to go. I went ahead and did the other two. So I've got 8 of them, and it's been glued up. So now we can move to going ahead and building the ring. That's what I'm gonna work on now. But taping these down, keeping them lined up, that was the way to go. The glue up went flawlessly. That's the one thing I worry about is glue up. This one went great for a change. So yeah, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the outer ring, getting them fitted in. I think I mentioned earlier, but these angles right here, let me explain to you how I've come up with those angles. If you look at it, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in segment and turning, that's an 8 piece ring. The length is determined, you know, right here. However, what I use to find that is the miter set. We set on 0 here. And if you look right there, well, I set it on 8. Then I set up a fence with my miter gauges and went ahead and found a place to where I adjusted my length. So this right here came for finding the angle on my miter set. This is segmented turning. I've got blocks of wood. I didn't have anything 2 inches thick. I had to make it 2 inches thick, or 1 inch and 15/16. I made this one right here. The angles are perfect, but it's not long enough from here to here. See where it comes out and it leaves it. I need that thing to touch wood all the way. So this right here, it's about 1 inch and 11/16. I'm gonna make it, them, when it's done, it's gonna be 8 inches. That should give me enough to where once I get it in far enough that I'll have enough meat out here to make, in other words, this right here will be a complete circle time we get finished. And of course, I can do the same thing down here. But that method of cutting them segmented is right on the money. I turn this, this is a 3/4 inch hole. I turned 3/4 inch dowel, marked it right to center. So that shows me the center, and I made this little stick to hold the number 2 pencil. I got several in there, but I had a 12 inch. So I want a 2-foot diameter, 12 inch radius. I stick that nail right in there, and I can go all the way around that thing then. And that's how I'm gonna get the radius. So when I get all them cut and get them in there, I'll take that right there, and that'll show me where to cut it on the outside, and also I'll draw it up and show me where to cut it on the inside. That way it'll look like a perfect circle. Well, let's hope it looks like a perfect circle when I'm done. Well, our glue has been setting all night. We'll take them out of the clamps here and see if we can't get these things worked up and move this project forward. What I like to do is get the beads of glue off. That way, my blades, whether it's on a joiner or planer or even table saw, I feel like will last a little longer. It doesn't take long to do it. Get all that off her. And we'll be ready to start working this thing up. In order for this to have the best results, I need this thing all dimensioned out, squared up, parallel. So when I do sit down here and cut these, it's going to be as accurate as it could possibly be. Because you have 8 of these to do, a cut on each side. That's 16 cuts. All it takes is an error just a little bit. By the time you get all the way around, it'll be off. So we need this thing as accurate as we can get it. So I've got it to the thickness I want it. It's just a 30-second proud. I figure I'd take a sander and make it all even. Better to do that than take the handles down. But I got a place here that's perpendicular. It don't matter about the ends because I'm fixing to cut those off, and this is going to be the radius. So right now, I'm just going to take this one and just, I need 8 inches, but I'm going to go ahead and make the cuts here, and we'll start fitting it. We'll sneak up on the distance. Then when I do, I got a stop block that I will clamp right here. And that way we can get them all the same. Like stop block, sure do. All right, hearing protection on. So I'm almost 1 inch longer than what I calculated. Let's go see how that looks. So the angles, I like them matter sets. So basically we just have to trim off until we can get it to where we want it. 1 inch is a lot, so we're gonna trim off and just work our way and sneak up on what we're looking for. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and walk our way in this thing. First time. Let me bring in here and show you. First time I cut that much off. These angles are funny things. So I got this thing in the center where I can put this nail and be right dead on it. So I got some tick marks there to where 12-inch and 8-inch radius will be. So this right here, that is the 12-inch, and then I have an 8-inch right here. See, as long as I can get everything cut off on the ends, that's all that's necessary. That's what I had on this one that was short because it run off the end here. I couldn't get a full circle out of it. But look at them joints. Yeah. So it looks like we've got it going our way. So I'm gonna get this one done and that over there done where I can get straight across. Meanwhile, while I got my braces in to hold her still. And then before you know it, I'll be there. I think that's going to work just fine. If I can get them all that close right there, I believe we'll be good. So let's go to the next one. So what I've got, this is the first one here. Also, I went ahead and, well, I've got them, the bandsaw and everything, I got them squared away. And I got this one that's straight across. I'm gonna go ahead and mount it. Then I'll probably catch these two here like I did when I was going together. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue these here and see if we can't get her done. We'll go ahead and glue these here. And then we'll glue these and just work our way around it. So we'll go ahead and get started here. See if we can't get some gluing going on. This is end grain, but end grain has got some value. But that piece is going to come around top of it. It's actually going to give it its strength. Well, I have to have it to hold right now, and this is the way to do it. Okay. Don't want to put a lot of pressure out. We just don't want it to move, if you know what I mean. It needs to sit right there. I've seen glue, it actually, I don't know, it greases it where it tries to walk itself out. So we'll go ahead and get these other two. Well, we got 4 of them done. It's halfway. I'll leave them clamped up there. I'll leave them clamped up an hour or so, and I'll come back and do the other 4. Got them on the bandsaw. Got them all trimmed. The ones that are sticking up high, still got the ones taped down. These are just a little proud, but I think once I get them, I can get my orbital sander and get everything down to where they need to be. So what I'm making now is the outer ring. It's going to be one on each side, a little decorative. Plus, what I'm going to have, see, for instance, like this piece right here, be centered over this. Or we'll have a dowel here, here, and here to tie everything together, how to lock everything together. However, I'm going to show you how I did this right here, how this can be done, because this is segmented turning. You figure it the same way. It's 8-sided. So I've got this little site I go to when I'm doing bowls. And what it is, you just put the information in that you're looking for. You know, the segment's 8, 22.5 degrees. It figures this right here for you. What you put in is the 3/4, the diameter of the ring, 22.5, 11.25 radius, and the thickness you're looking for, and it goes and gives you the information you look for. 9 7/16 and 3 7/16 be the rip width. So I'm just going to show you with this piece here, because I got to build one for the other side. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I do it on this piece right here. So the width that I'm going to rip this board is 3 7/16. Then I'm going to cut it 9 7/16 long. Now I'll have a rectangle, then I'll show you how I get my radius marks that I've got to make the curve. I'll wind up cutting that on the bandsaw. Kind of like I did the other ring. Cut it on the bandsaw, then put it to the mark with my sanders. Nine 7/16 by 3 7/16. We do the radius. What we need to do is go ahead and cut our angles. Then we can do our radiuses to fit the angles. So we're going to line up with our curve with that point right there, and we'll cut it and flip it, because it's supposed to be the length we're looking for, right? So there's a couple of things we're looking at. If you remember this, what I put in the middle to get my radius around the wheel itself. So what I'm doing here, I just stick it down in my dog holes. They just happen to be 3/4 inch. And if you remember my homemade compass, I'm gonna set this thing, if you remember, 8 3/4 is what we're using for the inside radius. So we want to line up this point here and this point. Wow, we are right there. I mean, okay, we're gonna line that side up and then that side up. But what I'd like to do, we're gonna use double-sided tape to hold it there. So I got me a block of wood to put right there. So let's put us a piece of double-sided tape. We're gonna use this as a guide, then we'll wind up double-sided tape that down. So what we wanna do, fix this where it won't move, we'll put this right beside it. Now we want to line this thing up right there. So let's double-sided tape this now. Once you get, like I say, you got, in this situation, you've got 16 of them to do. What we could do is just set up a bunch of stop blocks. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, we are going to mark off the 8 3/4, and now I need 11 1/4. I moved my pencil to 11 1/4, and there we go. So I take it to the bandsaw, and I've got me another way to put my camera up. I don't know how that's going to look. I guess when I go to post, I'll find out. But I cut it out on the bandsaw. Then I take it to the disc sander and get it to a line. Of course, the orbital sander does the inside groove, and the disc sander does the outside groove. Now that I've got it, I want to take this right here and put it in its place, and we'll just check this thing out. And we'll get our little decorative grooves, coves, maybe you call that. So that's a good start at the next ring down. Let me show you how. I'll go ahead and cut the grooves, coves on the router table now. Let's check the fit now. We'll just see how well this thing fits now. I believe that'll work. That's how you do it. That's how I make the decorative rings, which it's decorative, but it's more than decorative, because these are end grains on to the handles. Well, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna put three dowels per section. I sandwiching it all together, all be glued together. So this will give it strength. This will make it stout right here. Well, I got the wheel. Actually, if you remember, we got the ring. I got a decorative ring right here. And I drew me a line. I placed it on here and got it centered and got everything like I wanted. And what I want to do, I just figure a line. I'll figure a way to get it off. But this way. There's no doubt where it's at. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and use all these clamps. You see all the clamps. We're gonna glue this thing together. And then when I'm done, I can get this, I can't get too rough with it because this is end grain. Once I get her glued together, see if you look right here, this is, I'm gonna dowel it here, here, and here, all the way around. Each piece will have 3 dowels in it. And what it'll do with the piece on the bottom, it's all gonna lock together. And that is what's gonna make it strong. Because this is, when it's glued, this is straight grain, but that's end grain. A lot of surface area end grain, which it'll hold a lot, but this right here will make it, it'll lock it together to where if it dropped it, it ain't come all pieces. It said they have 6 shows. They need to last for the 6 shows. I think this thing's gonna last a long time. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna glue this thing up, and we'll see if we can't. Once this sets up, then I can start getting my dowels and drilling it and putting it together. Then the final sanding, which I'm gonna come here and kind of round it, take these sharp edges and kind of dull them down, and then I'll be ready for, once it's sanded down, I'll be ready for stain. So let's go ahead and glue this thing up. Let's see. It's right there. We'll just go ahead and glue up. I like using my finger. If there's a place that looks starved, you go over, but you take your finger, if it kind of sticks to it, that means it's starved for glue, and you can feel it instead of having to rely on just your eyes. So what I need to do then is, I like to be able to set this down without doing a lot of moving in places that it's not going to beat. See there? That's what that mark is for. I need it to tack up to where it's not moving. If you ain't careful, it's gonna, you don't want to move on it. And we'll let her tack just a little bit. So I got to mark the center here to match up, and then mark all the way around to take it to get everything else. So I'm pretty confident it's in the middle. Well, all right. We got her clamped up. I'm gonna take my little straw trick right here. I'm gonna go around and get the excess out. If you get that excess out, you don't have to glue, dry through that clump. It dries it a little quicker. So let me get that off, and then we'll let this thing set, and we'll go from there. We'll be ready to do some sanding. I went ahead and sanded it down. I didn't figure it's not the most exciting thing in the world to do a bunch of sanding, but I did put up my my dowel maker. I turned me some dowels. Now I mark these holes off. What I want to do is go to the drill press. We'll drill these holes, get the dowels in it. So I've got it set, clamped down, got me some stands back here. I think I got it. I've drilled one, he went fine, so I'm just gonna give it its time. Put my another backing plate in here where maybe it won't tear out going through the back side. So let's go ahead and get started. It is time now to glue the dowels in. This is going to tie it all together. If you remember pushing together, we're going to try to line the hole and also the dowel itself. We will try to get as much glue on, because when it goes to pushing together, it has a tendency to push it off. So if you don't put some on both ends, it's not really going to make it. Okay, I've got it sticking through the bottom side about a quarter, about that much right you're seeing there. Maybe a little less, but as long as it's sticking through where we can cut it off good and flush. Oh yeah, looks like we got it pushed the glue off or carried us about that much sticking through the bottom side. That'd make a good blooper, wouldn't it? Glue goes flying, parts flying. How about that? Can't always go perfect, I don't guess. Well, we got the stain on it. Old, rustic, worn, used look. I believe we've hit it. Bullseye. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap us up on the captain's wheel. Looking for an old, rustic wheel. I think we've hit it. I'm actually surprised how well it did turn out. I appreciate y'all joining me. And hope you learned something. I know this video is kind of long, but so I tell you what, appreciate you watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.